Scream 6 is going to be coming out.
I think it looks good.
Yeah, and it has a lot of potential.
My attitude is, and I do think that they're going to kill Gale in this one, is, all right, might as well. They're not going to ruin her character. She's still going to be Gale, you know?
If Scream 6 does what they did with the Scream 4 trailer, where, you know, you see Gale in, like, the hayloft or whatever. She's got the knife on her, and it's like, oh, damn, dude, like, they might kill Gale in this movie. She lives. Scream 5, she lives. It's like, all right, dude, we're, like, I don't know how many times you can fake people out doing this thing over and over again.
Well, that was the one thing that I did kind of like about the new Scream, as fucked up as it is to say. When Dewey first gets stabbed, I'm sort of like, I'm literally thinking to myself, I'm like, okay, this isn't Dewey's first rodeo getting stabbed. And then they pull up with the knife and blood and guts is just like, and I'm like, oh, no, he's dead. He's not coming back from this.
And not for nothing, in the climax of the movie, you know, in that end sequence, Gale should have bought it too.
I mean, they had me going.
Yeah.
When Sydney was going through the house, I'm like, wow, they might kill Sydney. And then they just wimped out. And the killers, I'm sorry, man, but the killers in Scream 4 and 5, I just didn't care. They weren't interesting to me.
No, Mrs. Loomis would mop the floor with the new killers. Mrs. Loomis was a force to be reckoned with.
She was the scariest one, I think.
Dude,
Laurie Metcalf has those crazy eyes, man. You know, like
what's even in the, you know, the
fucking Hillary Clinton eyes. You know, Carol Baskin feed me to a tiger. Like
you're like, oh shit, dude. Like she is not slowing down. Everything that Sydney's doing, it's not working. But yeah, I guess getting back to, you know, our Scream 6 predictions and whatnot.
I think Gale's toast.
Yeah. And it's funny, before everybody started posting the videos about the Scream 6 teaser poster with, you know, the subway tracks and everything else, you know, I think everybody kind of did their own detective work. You know, you saw even next to Kirby's name, it's like, you know, closed permanently or whatever. It's just like a little red X on her stop. I'm just going to say this now. If they bring her character back just to kill her,
I don't think that they would kill her. She's back basically by popular demand.
No, she's
a very popular character. And she's a woman, which gives her a better chance. If Kincaid was back in this one again, he'd be dead, because he's got a dick.
I'm interested to see this one. What's the release date again?
It's like March 23rd?
All right.
Something like that.
I don't know. There's a lot of things they can do right with this one. They can kind of put the franchise back on track a little bit.
I'm not going to hold my breath, but I'm hopeful.
You know, like you were saying, not only was the entire ending like Scream 5, it was just very underwhelming. The reveal, it's like, you know, you had the thought even before it went in, like, oh, dude, maybe they have like 3 killers this time around. Or when you're watching the end of the movie and you see who the 2 killers are, you're just waiting for somebody else to step out from the shadows, and it's like, oh shit, they actually have 3 killers in this, and that 3rd killer would be this crazy reveal,
like Stu or some shit.
And then it just,
which, I mean, if we're going to presume that Billy Loomis at the age of like 17 knocked up this girl because he was cheating on Sydney, and this is in fact that illegitimate daughter, that's like the stretch of a lifetime. I would have been fine with them revealing Stu at the end of the movie.
So I guess whoever this person is, or whoever these people are, because we know that there's definitely going to be multiple killers. The only one so far that's had a single killer was Scream 3, and even then that was like a little bit of a stretch. It was kind of like how he managed to pull it off all by himself.
Even the way the movie ends, you're kind of like left wondering if Roman didn't have a partner.
Yeah.
You know,
how insane would it have been if like Kincaid had been like his partner?
It would explain the bulletproof vest. It would explain, you know, trying to get access to like files on Sydney.
Yeah.
And like the frustration thereafter of like, you know, either Deputy Dewey's gonna obstruct justice. He was just the perfect setup for it. Plus, not for nothing, he was more badass than Roman.
I'm just kind of like wondering what they're gonna do as far as, I guess, the reveal. It really cannot be like this underwhelming reveal again on who the killer is. It's like, who's this person that's collecting all this memorabilia? It's like, oh, well, he's just a Ghostface like super fan. He's like completely out of his mind. It's like, yeah, but we kind of already had that in Scream 5.
I still
with the guy who's obsessed with like the stab franchises and whatnot. It's like, oh, okay, it's like, give us something new, give us something that's really gonna be a gut punch where you're like, oh shit, man, like I did not see that coming.
There is another theory floating around that it's the little sister, Jenna Ortega, which is possible. She does have motive, you know, like.
I just hope she doesn't do what they did with Emma Roberts, where she's wearing the costume at the end of Scream 4 and it's totally Like, it's like, who's this 5'2" person wearing the ghost face?
She takes off the mask and it's just like, bloop, bloop, bloop.
Yeah, it's like, what the hell just happened? It's like, was that guy like 6'2" a second ago?
Actually, there's another theory going around that it wasn't the chick who killed Dewey, that it was somebody else who will be revealed in this movie.
Which would make way more sense.
And it would actually, I mean, I'm still not going to like what, I'm never going to like what they did with Dewey's character, but it might help, like, to...
Until you give it another 15...
slightly less.
Or they give it another 15, 20 years and they're going to, like, retcon Scream 4 and 5, you know, not 4 and 5, maybe 5 and then maybe this one. Or maybe they'll do who knows, maybe they'll do a direct sequel to, like, Scream 2 and they'll just, like, get rid of 3 and, like, everything after that. You know.
And they'll treat like the.
I mean, how many times?
Basically, they'll make fun of like all these Scream movies, pretending that they were just stab films that made these really shitty choices and call them out like directly. That would be really fucking funny.
Yeah.
But I gotta tell you, I think and this is just a theory. I don't really have much basis for this. I think that there's going to be multiple killers, possibly 3. I also think that they're not working towards the same ends, and there might even be some sort of like a clash or something at the end. I don't know why. I just like, I get that like vibe. I mean, maybe it's
there's a competing factor, like maybe there's
or they just have different reasons. Can you imagine like 2 Ghostface like facing off against each other? That'd be fucking sick.
Well,
Jurassic World end.
Yeah.
They might. That's what it is. It's the remake-will element. Like, you know.
It's funny. I actually didn't see the end sequence of Dominion for Jurassic World. Not yet. I started watching.
Remember how the previous 2 movies ended?
Somewhat, yeah.
It ends basically the same way.
Nothing new brought to the table. So,
well, I mean, like with the showdown. You know,
oh, okay.
There's always like 2 dinosaurs that are like, "Hey, what the fuck are you doing here?"
I'm really not trying to get my hopes up for this one, but in many ways, I don't know. This looks like it's going to be better than Scream 5, because it has a lot of potential.
Yeah. I hope it is.
And the fact that it's one that's actually not going to take place in Woodsboro.
Yeah.
Or have like any kind of element from like Woodsboro, and it's, you know, because the past 2 movies have taken place there.
And New York on Halloween.
Yeah. So
it's a great setting.
Something you notice in the trailer though. So when they start seeing Ghostface on the subway train, the first like 2 people that they show wearing the Ghostface costume is the actual like cheap Scream costume that you'd get from like Party City or one of these other places, and then the actual one that has like that sort of glitter
like collar with like the
finish is like the one that the actual killer is
That's
wearing.
how they used to be before they got cheap.
Yeah.
Scream 6. You guys excited about it? Comment below, let me know what you think. And that's all she wrote.